can be just as tricky, right? It's a balance. Same with self-compassion. Self-compassion, we don't want to be indulgent. We want to be kind to ourselves. We want to practice good self-care, but we don't want to be indulgent because probably all of us have goals or dreams, and sometimes that requires discipline in order to achieve them, right? It's okay to have standards for yourself. I think compassion and empathy for others can be just as tricky to navigate. And I think that's, again, what makes being a good human being so difficult. And it's probably why often in life we fall short, right? Not everyone aspires to be a good human being in life. That's okay. Well, I mean, it's a shame, but I think really doing the work to climb that mountain, it's such a journey, you know, and probably a whole bunch of people on Twitch right now playing video games and all kinds of stuff, and that's great. But I think the real journey is here in this work. I think a lot of people don't understand that until far too late in life. So, yeah, that's talking about compassion and empathy for the day. That's the topic. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for coming in and walking on the path with me. And yeah, so probably do some games now. I actually want to take a second. The Game Awards were on the other night. I kind of want to creep on all the cool new games that are out. So, Game Awards new game announcements. Because I haven't even looked at what stuff has come out. I was kind of watching it the other day, but then I had to work, so I didn't get to watch all of it. Elden, what? Is there a new... Wait, every game featured. So is this The Witcher 4? Wow, that's crazy. They announced the new Witcher. Ooh, Okami sequel. Yo. Oh man, this looks so dope. Oh, I need to go back and finish Elden Ring. Oh no, my inner Dark Souls fanboy. I'm sorry. Sorry guys. I just orgasmed on stream. It's fine. What other cool stuff? Shadow Labyrinth. This looks like Shadow of the Colossus. That's what this game looks like. It's completely not at all even similar. Okay, well the title looks like it. Ninja Gaiden, huh? Okami sequel. Not at Elden Ring yet. Oh yeah, are you gonna play through the rest of the Souls games? Did you enjoy Dark Souls 1 enough that you're gonna go play 2 and 3 now? Split Fiction. Ooh, a new Turok game. Wow, that's crazy. That's a blast from the past. Jesus Christ, I haven't heard of Turok in like 20 years. Oh my god. Have Dark Souls 2 ready and downloaded. Nice. Oh my god. Dark Souls 2, a lot of people didn't like Dark Souls 2, and I think it was kind of rushed out, so in some ways I think it does lack some polish, especially visually, but I honestly really enjoyed it. I found the spell system to be more broad than in Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3, I think they limited the amount of spells and weapons a lot more than in 2. I think 2 had the greatest diversity, so I really enjoyed it in that perspective. So I liked 2 a lot. Probably not my favorite one. I would say 1 first, 3 second, and then 2 would be last. 3 was fun. I still have fond memories of 3. It still feels like 3 just came out, but God, when did Dark Souls 3 probably came out? Almost 10 years ago at this point. 2016. Oh my god, we are old, guys. Oh my god. Used a Claymore in 1. If I can, I'd use Claymore through 2 too. Yeah, I've done yeah, that's actually, I think that was the same thing that I did too. I did like I've had one of the runs that I did in Dark Souls. I did a couple of runs in Dark Souls 1. And one of them was strength faith build, and I used what was that? Sunlight Blade or whatever on the Claymore and just ran around and swung my giant shiny beam sword at people. It was pretty great. My giant phallic sword at people. It was awesome. Oh, Slay the Spire too. Well, that was cool. I've heard good things about 1. I've kind of never played 1, but I've always been curious to go back and play it. It's so hard for me to like play single player games nowadays, though. I just don't have the time. Or I guess I just never want to like justify spending it. Ooh, hey, finally the last Final Fantasy game, huh? First Berserker. Interesting. Double Dragon. What's this? This looks dope. So as much as I love watching the Game Awards because there's so much hype, it's also just like so much more convenient to just like, okay, give me a list of what's coming out. Oh, this is cool. This is like Terraria. This must be by the same people who made Terraria, I'm guessing. Pugs. Wow, no, they actually didn't. Oh, wow, they full on stole Terraria then. The First Berserker. Oh, this game looks dope. Oh, wait, is this? I thought this was a new, what is that? Castlevania? He looked kind of like the dude from Castlevania. I forget which or like Rygar maybe? Interesting. I didn't realize this was the original game. Oh, Fragpunk. Isn't Fragpunk already out? Didn't that game come out and die? Fragpunk. Stream is now officially sponsored by IGN. IGN, you owe me a paycheck for the free advertising. I'll take it in $1,000 bills, please. So sorry, guys. Oh, this game looks dope. I love it. Interesting. The game looks really cool. I'd totally be down to play it. Let's see. What else? Final Fantasy. I kind of want to see. I've been like purposely holding off on playing through all of these until kind of all of them come out. Because I don't want to like play one and then wait a million years. I played a little bit of the first. What was the first remake that they made? I played a little bit of the first remake. Actually, funny story, I streamed a little bit of the first remake way back when I used to stream like 3 or so, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. So it had just come out. So I actually did a little bit of it. Okay, this thing's like too loud. We'll just watch the trailers on YouTube. Sure, I'll look at it. Rebirth. PC announcement. Oh, thank God.
Time to kick it up a notch.
The time has come.
Sephiroth!
At last, our long-awaited reunion.
Oh my God, that's so good. Reminds me of Advent Children. Oh, that's such a good movie. I love that movie so hard. Man, a lot of cool, good new games coming out. I definitely want to try Fragpunk. Honestly, that seems super fun. Tekken 8. Tekken 8's been out, right? I haven't played fighting games in forever. Splitgate, Pal World. I don't think any of this stuff is new. Interesting. Was that all the announcements? Oh, okay. Huh. Some cool stuff. I definitely would be down to play the Elden Rings expansion for sure. Fragpunk I definitely want to try out. Ugh, I really need to just like have time in my life to play solo games again and play all the Final Fantasies. Witcher 4, interesting. That looks cool. Oh, this looks so cool. Elden Ring. Okay, I'm gonna need to. Let's watch the trailer for this. And then we'll switch over to some games. Reveal trailer. Finished Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3. Also started and never went back to finishing 7, 9, and 10. That's so funny. Yeah, my brother is like the master of JRPGs. I told him he needs to stream, honestly, because he constantly plays like every JRPG that's ever been created. And he's played like all of the Final Fantasies and has like a freaking encyclopedic knowledge of all of them. So I've played a lot of them. I've played 7, 9, and 10. A tiny bit of 6. Played 13. He like forced me to play 13. That's like one of his favorites for whatever reason. I was really looking forward to 15, but I never even ended up playing it because I just felt like it wasn't, I don't know, it came out and it was just like so vastly different than what I feel like they marketed as that I just kind of, I don't know. And JRPGs had kind of gone downhill by the time 15 finally came out after like 10 years of waiting. $14. Oh yeah. Me and my brother also played Final Fantasy 14 for a little while. We were still just in like the base content though. We never even got into the expansion content. It was pretty fun. I think MMOs are just like so life engrossing though. I would be definitely down to play it again sometime. MMOs are so tricky. What you haven't played in a long time. What do they call them in that game? Jobs or classes or whatever? Which one did you use, Flame? Like RuneScape, yeah. I had a friend in high school who was like obsessed with RuneScape. Nothing has happened in this trailer yet, and I already love everything about it. Take my money from software. Just take it.
Seekers of redemption, you were chosen. Thrown together by forces beyond our control.
Yo, what's up, Goth Ghost? Thanks so much for the follow. Hey, not doing well. I'm guessing that's mentally. What's how goes it? Welcome in. We just kind of wrapped up talking about mental health stuff. But yeah, what's so we're kind of just hanging out, doing open Q&A, looking at trailers and stuff from the Game Awards. How goes it? How are things? Tell us about it.
Tragedy must be averted.
Tragedy.
And for that, I need your help.
Flame, you gotta play this game, man. I'm gonna get you through all the Souls games. My daughter's birthday is today. She passed in July. Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. That's hard. So it hasn't even been a whole year then. Yeah, speaking of the grieving thing that we were talking about earlier. How are you holding up with that? Why so you need something? Yeah, no worries, fine. I'm concerned. Gothgos, if you want to tell us more about how you're feeling about stuff, I'd love to hear. Struggling, shaking so bad because of your depression. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. What, if you don't mind me asking, and if you don't want to talk about it, you totally don't have to. What happened to your daughter? So she passed away recently? I can only imagine. I've never had kids, but God, I feel like I've had breakups where I wanted to the thought were unbearable. I can only imagine having a child and then losing them. I'm sorry. That must be completely fucking devastating. And I think it makes total sense to be struggling really bad with depression. We had an individual who came in earlier who's talking about adjustment disorder. That I'm sure you would probably qualify for something like that.
Stand tall. The night is far from over.
Little pillager.
Oh, Lord. Wow, that is a doozy. I'm gonna not repeat that because that's pretty graphic. Jesus. Ex's boyfriend. So was this the father of your daughter, or was this someone else? Wow, that's intense. How old was your daughter, if you don't mind me asking? I'm assuming she was probably pretty young then. So your baby mama's ex-boyfriend did this. Gotcha. Wow, that's crazy. 5. Oh my God, that's terrible. Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. We're talking about empathy and compassion. So you came in on a good day. There's probably no words that I can say that's going to change the way things are, but I want you to know that sounds awful, and you have every right to feel the way that you're feeling right now. Sure, go for it. That's what we're here for, man. So if you've been struggling with a lot of grief and stuff and depression since then, I'm guessing. Oh, God, even just thinking about something like that, that terrifies me. I think as a guy who I've wanted to have kids and a family for a while, and do want to end your life, but I'm not. I have a girlfriend and I have people that rely on me. Yeah, I mean, thank you for sharing that. That's a very vulnerable thing to admit, and that's not surprising to hear at all. I can only imagine. If I lost a child, I'd probably be exactly in the same space that you're in right now. Seeking help and meds, I'm getting help. Gotcha. So have you been seeing like a therapist and that sort of thing? Or if it's been about 6 months, what kind of stuff have you been doing? I can only imagine, man. I'm gonna be real. I'm sure every day has probably been a fucking battle for you. Twice a week. Yeah. I mean, that makes total sense. I'd imagine right now you're just really struggling every day, and that is probably completely normal. As awful as that is, it makes total sense that you're in that place right now. What kind of other stuff have you been doing? So seeing therapists twice a week, you've got medication going on. What kind of other stuff have you been doing? Thoughts are the worst. I cannot have peace in her arms and while asleep. Yeah, I mean, I've never lost a child before, but I know how it feels to lose someone that you really loved. And I went through a similar experience, but thankfully far less awful and far less traumatic. And yeah, I've been there of not being able to, like, losing someone that you care about from your life and not being able to sleep and not being able to eat and wanting to lose it all or end it all. And I've totally been there before. Smoke, play video games, try to distract yourself. Yeah. What? And I get wanting to distract yourself. If I can ask, what kind of stuff have you done to try to process stuff? I totally get that what you're experiencing is probably so overwhelming that even looking at or thinking about it is triggering, but barely sleep, don't eat, much nightmares. Yeah. I've been right there with you. When you can't sleep, what kind of stuff do you do? Do you ever journal, or do you have people in your life that you can talk to about stuff? Grief therapy, meds to help with my depression, and I just work and try. Yeah, grief therapy. Ooh, God. That's probably a really tough job to do, is be a grief therapist. Blast music so loud I can't hear your thoughts. Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense. Well, you're totally more than welcome to hang out here as long as you would like, and thank you for coming in and sharing everything. That sounds awful. Honestly, that's probably one of my own greatest fears in life, is to really love someone and have a family, and to lose someone like that. Honestly, it's probably one of the most terrifying things to me in the world. So I can only imagine what you're going through. Thank you for coming in, and you're more than welcome to hang out as long as you would like. I would also invite you to try to be really patient and compassionate with yourself. I think it would be totally normal for someone in your shoes to struggle for like a year or more. I mean, this is a child, man. Ugh, God, even just thinking about it is heavy. She attempted on her death day and a scar. That sucks. Yeah. That's heavy, man. It's really fucking heavy. What kind of emotions do you feel like you've been really struggling with? Cry a lot, but I'm doing a little better. Yeah, for sure. When you feel really overwhelmed by those emotions, what kind of stuff? I know you've mentioned video games and smoking and that sort of thing. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking? A good day. It's my sober day. Nice, that's awesome. Good for you. 19. Oh, Lord. You're just a kid yourself. Oof. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. That's a devastating thing to go through at such a young age on top of it. What are things like with your family? Do you have a lot of people that you can kind of rely on and talk to about stuff, or have you been facing a lot of this on your own? Been told I have trauma of World War II vet. I can relate to that, man. I'm right there with you. Well, shit, but I mean, it sounds like you even, at 19, shit, sounds like you even had a lot more experiences than I've had, and I thought I've had it rough in life. Have you been talking to family and friends about this kind of stuff, or do you feel like you've been really having to face it on your own? Me and my mom are close. She lost my little sister, and I've battled most of this shit. Yeah, well, and I get it. If you're a guy, wanting to face it alone makes sense. That's also the worst fucking thing you can do with this, dude. I think you need to lean on as many fucking people as you can. Even just some random guy on the internet like me. Like, fucking lean on people, man. Lean on your community, because life is a fucking awful place sometimes. And there's probably nothing that I can say that's going to bring her back. And probably you're just going to need a lot of time and a lot of crying and processing. And sometimes awful shit happens in life. I've had my experiences like that too. And I think the best thing you can do is lean on people and be really super fucking patient with yourself. I know, but I've handled my depression for 10 years alone. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir on that one. I know exactly what that feels like. Yeah, I mean, I think if you've got kind of your own mental health struggles on top of losing your daughter, that's a dangerous place to be at, my man. Would give 50 years of my life to see her for one day. Yeah, that makes total sense. I totally get it. I think you're in a really vulnerable spot right now, and I think the best thing that you can do is to really try to lean on people. So I appreciate you coming in here and sharing stuff. I'm a little bit concerned for your well-being if you're kind of experiencing thoughts of harming yourself and you've got a history of mental health stuff. And wanting to make sure that I don't want to like rush to, you're more than welcome to keep talking about everything. I want to be clear about that. I am a little bit concerned about your well-being. The therapist you have, if you were at the point where you were really serious about doing something, do you feel like you'd be able to reach out to them and express that to them?